What's up, people? What's up, people? It's your boy MM2K. I am here with a live reaction to the Video Game Awards, all right? So I'm trying to figure it out where I can go see this thing at, right? Just 3 hours away. Let me see. We go to YouTube, see if I can find it, man. While we doing that, let me get my restream up so I can see y'all in the chat. And then this music is gonna come off too. Don't worry about it. Oh, come on. Stop playing around, bro. Sorry, I was trying to get all this stuff together at the last minute. See, let me do a live reaction to this joint. Let me see. Video game, is it up and running yet? Got people watching. Axel, was good. Waiting for the show. Where can I find video game awards? And subscribe. It's premiering now. All right, let's hop to it, man. Let's get right into it. All right, let's unmute this. Bad. Oh. Uh-oh. Got it right here. So we got, I can't hear nothing. Let me minimize this.
Death Stranding, Devil May Cry 5, Kingdom Hearts 3, and Sayonara Wild Hearts. The nominees for Best Performance are Ashley Birch as Parvati Holcomb in The Outer Worlds, Courtney Hope as Jesse Faden, Control,
What's up, Heath? What's up?
Laura Bailey as Kate Diaz, Gears 5, Mads Mikkelsen as Cliff in Death Stranding, Matthew Porretta as Dr. Casper Darling, Control, and Norman Reedus as Sam Porter Bridges in Death Stranding. Games for Impact recognize a thought-provoking game with a profound pro-social meaning or message. The nominees are Concrete Genie, Grease, Kind Words, Life is Strange 2, and Sea of Solitude. For Best Ongoing Game, the nominees are Apex Legends from Respawn, Destiny 2 from Bungie, Final Fantasy XIV from Square Enix, Fortnite from Epic Games, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege from Ubisoft. For Best Independent Game, the nominees are Baba Is You, Disco Elysium,
I love these indie games.
Katana Zero, Outer Wilds, and The Untitled Goose Game. Best Audio Design, those nominees are Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Control, Death Stranding, Gears 5, Resident Evil 2, and Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. For Best Community Support, an award that recognizes developers that respond to the community, Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy XIV, Fortnite, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. What's interesting there is that all the nominees are the same nominees as Best Ongoing Game. For Best Mobile Game, the nominees are Call of Duty Mobile, Grindstone, Sayonara Wild Hearts, Sky Children of Light, and What the Golf. For Best VR AR Game, the nominees are Asgard's Wrath, Blood and Truth, Beat Saber, No Man's Sky, and Trover Saves the Universe.
Anybody played that?
For Best Action Game, the nominees for 2019 are Apex Legends, Astral Chain, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Devil May Cry 5, Gears 5, and Metro Exodus. In the genre of Best Action Adventure Game, those nominees this year are Borderlands 3, Control, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, and Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. For the Best Role-Playing Game, this year's selections are Disco Elysium, Final Fantasy XIV, Kingdom Hearts 3, Monster Hunter World Iceborne, and The Outer Worlds. In the Best Fighting Game category, the jury has selected these nominees: Dead or Alive 6, Jump Force, Mortal Kombat 11, Samurai Showdown, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
No surprises
The Best
there.
Family Game. The nominees are Luigi's Mansion 3, Ring Fit Adventure, Super Mario Maker 2, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and Yoshi's Crafted World. All 5 nominees from Nintendo. The best strategy game nominees are Age of Wonders, Planetfall, Anno 1800.
Tweet this out, y'all.
Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
We're going to discuss
War
this.
3 Kingdoms, Tropico 6, and Wargroove. The best sports racing game. Those nominees are Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel, Dirt Rally 2.0, eFootball Pro Evolution Soccer 2020, F1 2019, and FIFA 2020.
Post up with the close up. What's good, brother?
Here are the nominees: Apex Legends, Borderlands 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Tetris 99, and Tom Clancy's The Division 2. At the Game Awards, we'd like to recognize developers who make their first ever game. This year, the nominees for Fresh Indie Developer presented by Subway are Studio Zom for Disco Elysium, Nomada Studio for Greece, Dead Toast Entertainment for My Friend Pedro, Mobius Digital for Outer Wilds, Mega Crit for Slay the Spire, and House for Untitled Goose Game. In the category of Content Creator of the Year, the nominees are Courage, Dr. Lupo, Ewok, Gref, and Shroud. Now let's turn to the Esports Awards.
So while they talking about this esports award, I don't think I really care about that.
The nominees for Best Esports Game are Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Dota.
I dropped something in the free messaging. I dropped the free messaging app. Like I said, it supports the channel a lot.
Best esports player,
just hit me up with a message there, okay? Or what you can also do is I'm gonna be taking live calls.
Sinatra.
I'm gonna give my thoughts on the big whoop to do.
Astralis.
Because I don't think we really care about all this other stuff, right? But we're gonna go through it.
OG, Dota 2, San Francisco Shock, the Overwatch
League. What I would like to do again is have y'all again call in, give me your thoughts after I reflect on this as well. We'll see. So I think everybody's looking to see what the games of the year is gonna be. And is Death Stranding going to make it? So we're going to talk about it. Do me a favor, tweet this out. It's going to be challenging for me to do this now because I did this all last minute. Tweet this out, let everybody know. Drop it in Discords, whatever, you know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about this for a few moments, all right? So we're going to see here, man. I'm going to give you my individual thoughts off the bat. Gotta Be Legend says, no Dr. Disrespect. Yeah, I was shocked to see that. No Dr. Disrespect. I don't know, man. Yo, FC Valid. Yeah, I don't know why. Hey, Ice Cream Gaming. All right, we're getting back to some of the more important stuff.
Death Stranding from Kojima Productions. Resident Evil 2
He's making
from
new
Capcom.
Categories. It might be a sign Death Stranding ain't gonna be there.
From Software and Outer Wilds from Mobius Digital.
I mean, finally, best game direction could have been there before.
6 games selected by our jury as the ultimate expression of
Devin, what's going on?
Excellence. Game of the Year.
Here we go.
The nominees are Control from Remedy and 505 Games. Death Stranding, Productions,
Death Stranding.
Sony Interactive Entertainment. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate from Bandai Namco, Sora, and Nintendo. Resident Evil 2 from Capcom. Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice by From Software and Activision. And The Outer Worlds from Obsidian and Private Division. There you have it. Those are your nominees. Who do you think should win? Well, you can help select the winners in all categories by voting for your favorites at thegameawards.com and via Google. Just type TGA Vote into the search bar. There is so much more to share with you guys about this year's show in the weeks ahead, the world premieres, special guests, and more surprises. Follow the Game Awards on Twitter for updates and tune in live on December 12th for a global celebration of games. Maybe the Entitled Goose will also be there. See you live for the Game Awards on December 12th, streaming everywhere.
Well, there you have it, people. We want to hear any music. Yeah, I guess it's all right. Well, there we have it, people.
Today's episode of Inside Gaming Daily is brought to you by Omaha Steaks. If you go to Omaha...
Come on, man. I don't care about no damn Omaha Steaks. All right. So, there we have it. For games of the year, we got Control, Death Stranding, Super Smash Brothers, Resident Evil 2, Sekiro, and Outer Worlds. All right. So let me say this. And again, I do a lot of this stuff for you guys, you know, because despite my own biases, I like for people to be informed, and I like for conversations to be on a balanced level. I'm gonna keep it jiggy with y'all. I don't care about none of these games on here except for Control. Control, you know what I'm saying? And I haven't played Control, but I love Remedy. I love Remedy. I love Remedy games. Y'all know how I feel about Death Stranding. I don't play Nintendo games. I never was a big fan of the Resident Evil series back in the day, all like that. And to me personally, it's kind of peculiar that a remake is on the game. You know, like the basics, like. And big up to Mavis Horde for liking the channel, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm again, when you think of Game of the Year, I'm thinking of new iteration, sequel, stuff like that show the creme de la creme of game development all the way around. This from what I understand, this was a solid remake, but did they really add any like new content to it? You know what I'm saying? Like the vast majority of the content that's in the game was from the older game. It was just redone. I don't know how I feel. Like, let me give you an example. I love BioShock 1 and 2. Didn't care for Infinite. I love all three of the original Mass Effects. If they were to remake all three of those Mass Effects, right? Just spice them up a little bit. They already did BioShock 1 and 2 in the BioShock collection. I still don't think that they deserve Game of the Year. So that's a little peculiar to me. I get a lot of people nostalgic about Resident Evil 2. Don't say that it doesn't deserve rewards. Don't say that it doesn't deserve accolades, despite my own biases. I just am very peculiar at putting in Resident Evil 2 as Game of the Year. Now again, for my next thing, despite my own biases, I have qualms about why isn't Gears up there? You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of what they've done at the VGAs in the past is based on Metacritic, right? Gears has what? Like an 84, it has a higher Metacritic than Death Stranding. You know, by all intents and purposes, all the reviewers have said that this is the best Gears story that they've seen in a long time. There are issues with the multiplayer, but people have said that this is the best Gears story that they've seen in a long time, right? So, why no Gears there? You know, like why wouldn't Gears be there instead of Resident Evil 2? Just kidding. Again, I don't care for Gears. You know, I enjoyed what I played out of 5, but I was done with the Gears series after 2. I'm gonna keep it honest with you. That's me. I have my own personal taste. But I'm just saying, I'm looking at this as an even kill. I kind of find it peculiar that Gears isn't there, but Resident Evil 2. Lastly, let's talk about it. I think definitely Sekiro. Sekiro is not my type of game. I will never play that game. It's just not for me. But Sekiro should be there. It got a high Metacritic, and you know it got nothing but critical acclaim. The critical acclaim for Sekiro was so bad. You know what I'm saying? And again, I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but the critical acclaim for Sekiro was so bad that you had these wine boy reviewers saying that this should be an easy mode so everybody can play it. which really negates the whole purpose of the game and everything it was built from the structure ground up for. But that's how bad it was. So Sekiro definitely belongs there. You know what I'm saying? Outer Worlds, I don't like it. But I get that people like 60,000 dialogue trees just to get a mod for your gun. I can, hey, look, you like it, I love it. I just won't play it. You know what I'm saying? So I can dig it. Outer Worlds should be up there. Super Smash Brothers, I don't play that shit. But I get the phenomenon. Should be up there. And Control, from what I hear, Control is a very good game. It just had performance issues. That's what they get rocking with the Epic Game Store, but it is what it is. Lesson learned, right? Death Stranding. Here's what I gotta say about Death Stranding being up there. And then after this, I'm gonna open up the phone lines, right? Here's what I gotta say about Death Stranding being up there. I get that we got a lot of people out there. And when I say we got a lot of people out there that are going over the top to click to post their pleasure for this game, right? But when I think of an award show and I think of Game of the Year, I think of a game that excels in its genre. It excels so much in its genre that it pours out and then it sucks in people that normally ain't fans of that genre. And Death Stranding doesn't do that. That this game has gone through 60,000 degrees of descriptions. You know what I'm saying? It's gone from it's an action game to it's an action string. No, first it was, I don't know what this is. This is when the cutscenes were originally being shared and he was holding the goo baby in the sand with the dead whales. It was, I don't know what this game, Kojima, I don't know what this game is yet, but I got this vision. Then at PSX, you had Mark Cerny. We don't know what it is yet, but it's going to be intriguing or whatever the hell he said up there. To now, it's an action strand game. It's not a stealth game. It's an action game. It's not a stealth game. Kojima came out and flatly said it's an action game, right? To people right before release would say, hold on, Kojima trolled us. Y'all were seeing clips of an action game that looked like it lacked action. You were lied to. He trolled you to us actually getting the game in our hands, me included. I got 5 hours plus with it. And me saying, what the hell? Homie Nethos beat the game. And said it just wasn't a good experience all the way around. Can relate to how some people could like it, but it wasn't a good experience all the way around, and it sure as hell was an abysmal attempt at an action game. Now I get it, there are people out there that like this game, that are playing it, that want to post stuff on Twitter, and every time they want to show proof that there's action, they show that same scene where he's like in the blockade fighting the World War II ghosts. And I get it. There are people that like this, and because it's Kojima, they want Kojima to remain on his pedestal, so they're boosting up as well as he can. But with opposite of all of that, you have the man himself saying, along with some of his most favorite critics, saying that this game is polarizing. Now, if you wanted to give him an award for game direction or whatever, fine. I get it. Because he went out of the norm and decided to make this game, even though he knew it was going to be polarizing, we think that it takes gaming in a different, unique direction. So we're going to nominate him for this game direction or game vision award. I totally get that. But to put it up there with the creme de la creme of your games, and it ain't even got to be Gears 5. Like, in my personal opinion, Metro Exodus should have been up there. Metro Exodus is better than Gears 4. Where's Metro Exodus? But see, Metro Exodus fits into the same first-person shooter that everybody wants to hate on this year. In 2019, they want to hate on the first-person shooter. I get it. People are tired of it, and despite what the end product is, they want to hate on the first-person shooter. But with that said, if you're not going to put Metro up there, then I can't understand how Death Stranding even gets nominated for Game of the Year if you want to be taken seriously. It went through so many phases of description because every basket that they tried to put it in, it failed at that litmus. It failed. To the point to where they just had to settle on it being polarizing. When I think of Game of the Year nominees again, Game of the Year nominees have a more of a broader reach in a particular genre, and that reach somewhat spills over into people that normally wouldn't partake in that genre. In the action genre that Death Stranding is in, or let's just, the hell with it, let's call it the weird genre. In the weird genre that Death Stranding is in, it fails. It fails because even though the bylines and the storylines are weird, it doesn't have broad appeal to gamers with the gameplay. Period. I'd be more, hey look, I'm gonna keep it jiggy with y'all. This ain't a Sony thing. I would be more comfortable with Days Gone being up here besides Death Stranding. I think Days Gone does better at checking those boxes than Death Stranding does. If you want to give it awards because of soundtrack and game direction and stuff like that, fine. But creme de la creme of its genre, no. Even if we were to make up weird genre today, it's still, look, from one of my favorite movies, Paid in Full, rapper Cameron, talks to another character. I forgot the guy's name. He got shot. Dude was scared. He's scared to get back out there and do his thing. And Cameron just looked at him and was like, people get shot every day, B. And I'm here to tell y'all, there's weird games out there every day, B. What makes Death Stranding so different and so much better than those other weird games? Those other weird games have reasonable and feasible gameplay. Not just giving you simple-minded tasks to do in between the cutscenes. Days Gone don't belong up here. And again, for my Sony people, it's like, oh, you hate. I think that, not Days Gone. Death Stranding doesn't belong up here. I would put Days Gone up here before Death Stranding, period. Well, it got a high Metacritic. Apparently, Metacritic doesn't mean anything because Gears ain't up here. So, those are just my thoughts. And I say that to say this. Even though, and this ain't going to make sense to this generation, because I come from a generation where we didn't just fall in line with everything that's commercially accepted. This is the most commercially accepting generation I've ever seen in my life. And yes, this is me, the old man, shaking my fist at the window. This is the most commercially accepted. Y'all just, everything that is coming out that's cookie cutter, that's conveyor belt, y'all just gobble it up. And y'all have the internet at y'all hands, at y'all disposal. A gateway to more in-depth information. And y'all all are just so assembly belt. With that being said, this is what I'm trying to say. I get that the VGAs have become, behind Jeff Keighley, have become the commercially accepted channel for determining what are games of the year. But despite its commercially accepted status, I'm here to say I don't take them seriously as any gauge on what's game of the year or what's this or what's that. They're not serious. And they're definitely, and then there's going to be no questions asked. Not only did a game that they had to call Polarizing, which strikes against the litmus of having broad appeal within its genre and having it seep out too, and to people that normally ain't for that genre. It goes against that principle. If that game not only it gets nominated, but it wins Game of the Year, which I'm going to stay at my earlier stance, I think it's a 90% chance that it wins Game of the Year. That's what I said earlier in this year. Before all the gameplay came out, just for the simple fact that it's Kojima. And it might be like a sweep of every single thing that is nominated for that Death Stranding is going to win. If that is the outcome, if Death Stranding wins, and or Death Stranding does like a grand sweep, to me it's official. Like the VGAs cannot be taken seriously at all. Right now I'm gonna say they're highly questionable. But if this thing wins, you know what I'm saying? That's the final verdict. They have rendered themselves a non-serious, but maybe entertaining player. You know what I'm saying? I will give credit to Jeff for he is good at getting. He has broad reach in the community. He has broad reach in the community, and I love the fact that he gets people that bring trailers. We got my Xbox brethren out here talking like, yo, whatever wasn't showed in XO19, it's gonna be shown at the game. So let's see. The perpetual state away. Let's see. But again, I'm not trying to get into no console war stuff, and believe you me, my PlayStation people, this is not an anti-PlayStation thing. I would be more, I'm just keeping it real. I would be more comfortable with Days Gone being up there opposed to Death Stranding. You know what I'm saying? MM2K, Heath Stevens, homie Heath Stevens, man. He be spitting his truth for real. He said, MM2K, come on, man. No reviews or award show are honest. They are both BS. I won't say that. I would say most of them are. There are some people that have broad reach in the industry, like Jeff does, but they're just not commercially successful. Like, I'm gonna tell everybody, one of my favorite podcasts is a podcast called Rebel FM now. And I recently discovered them. Now, I'm gonna warn you. These are some nerds. I'm a nerd too. I'm proud of it. I'm a nerd. I'm a facts nerd. I like stats. I don't like sitting there just shooting the shit and not knowing what I'm talking about. So the guys at Rebel FM, their lineages, they originally were, a lot of them, well, they're guys that come from 1UP. And 1UP was created after GMR was disbanded. Now, GMR magazine, to me, was like the best magazine ever in video game history. And they're the magazine that belonged to Electronic Boutique or EB Games before EB Games got bought out by GameStop. I truly wish that it was the other way around. I think if it was the other way around, that the socially acceptable things as it relates to gaming would be different. Because GMR had a very tough stance when it came to games. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's things that I like that they, hammer, but they didn't fall into the commercially accepted norms. They had very stringent rules. And I'd be like, oh, GMR, come on, cut it a break. GMR was tough. So if GMR liked something, like if GMR gave something an 8, it was an 8. Like, there's no doubt about it. So after EB Games got bought out, they were disbanded, and a lot of them created 1UP. Now, again, in the advent of the social media and the socially accepted thing, and now that Game Informer became the #1 magazine and it had more influence, you started seeing Game Informer like mentalities and Game Informer type reviewers that sprouted all over the place, and people that thought and talked like them about games became socially accepted, to where 1UP wasn't so. So 1UP got disbanded. The remnant of one of the people from 1UP now do Rebel FM. So these guys are nerds. So if you really want if you want details and high rich information, I recommend definitely that you check them out. Again, they ain't got the jazz and pizzazz like some of your favorite podcasts and the arguing and yelling. But if you want a lot of information, please check out Rebel FM. That's my favorite podcast to listen to. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the quote unquote mainstream. All right. When they do award shows or their top this for the year, they're being straight up honest. You can't get no more authentic than my homies at Rebel FM. Period. And they come from that GMR / 1UP lineage. You know, it's just unfortunately, King Player, I don't know why. I turned that damn bot off. I'm sorry, King Player. I'm gonna go back in there and fix it. This freaking bot is killing me. Paul says, when MM2K, when Keighley, Holt, and Kojima's pockets, Death Stranding will win Game of the Year. Yeah. So let me do this. I'm gonna open up my Skype line for y'all. Let's open up Skype. Y'all got the number in there, right? Right. Y'all got the numbers. Boom. 724-739-3612. Homie Mr. Righteous Fish asked me, can I call that from a phone? Yes, you can call that number from your phone. Call that number from your phone. Call in. Give me your thoughts on the games, the Game of the Year nominees or Control, Death Stranding, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Resident Evil 2, Sekiro, and Outer Worlds. Let me know what you think about that, man. Let's hear it. But again, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I never looked at the VGAs as anything serious. I looked at them. Jeff Keighley was never a serious entity as far as gaming opinion was concerned, as far as I'm concerned. Never was. He's great at being able to do outreach. The man has talents. He's great at being able to do outreach and get big names together. He's fantastic at that. I would love to have him on board. You know, if I was doing a gaming company, if I needed to put a show together and get some big content, he's great at that. Beyond that, I really don't care for anything that he does. Man, King Player said, hey, MM2K, Barrett is mad as hell. Yeah, his astral chain. Woo! Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Hey, yo, Bear, let me go to the DM real quick. Let me mess. Hey, Bear, no astral chain? They messing with him? They probably messing with him. Haha, Dirt. Control was shocking. Bruh, stop it. Verdict, you cutting up, bruh. Talking about he's shocking. Control is in there. Death Stranding is in there. They said Death Stranding in every category. I didn't even realize that. I'm gonna mess with Barry real quick. I will show y'all this, but I can't. We gotta keep the DM secret. Where's Astral Chain? Oh, Barry don't appreciate that. He said Baron pulling a hip hop gamer. Talk about this racist. Oh man, this is funny. But again, and here's why I'm laughing at Baron. I'm laughing at Baron because Baron, one day me and Baron was rapping about something. We was making fun of Death Stranding in the DM, right? And I said, I don't take none of these mugs seriously. I said, I just don't. I said, there's people out here that says the game is boring, it's not a good game, it doesn't belong next to a console, but 95. And I said, how can you take these type of people seriously? And he was like, no. Ain't nothing wrong with these reviewers. It's just that for some reason, they're afraid of Kojima. And I'm like, nah, man. It ain't no one man. It's the whole mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the whole mindset. Nobody cares about Kojima like that no more, bruh. Like, to be afraid of him. You know what I'm saying? We got a super chat here from Cold Blood Sensei. Cold Blood, man, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Really trying to help out the channel, man. I appreciate you, bro. Are you a mod? Let me see if you're a mod. What's Cold Blood Sensei at? Cold Blood Sensei should be a mod. I'm gonna find you, Cold Blood. Make you a mod. Hey, Cold Blood, put something else in the chat so I can make you a mod. You're not. Okay, we're gonna do this right now. I got you. Add a moderator. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you and all your support, man. Cold Blood Sensei says Baron's new best IP answer chain didn't make the cut, left my ass off. He's gonna be mad at Burke. Facts. And again, let me see here. Oh man. Hey, where's the astral chain? Oh man. Hey yo, Bear's probably under the bridge. He on top of a bridge somewhere like, should I? But that's what I'm saying. It's not, I'm gonna say this. And I've been saying this for a long time now. That I don't agree and to disagree respectfully with my homie Heath, man. And all my PlayStation people, like I'm working with Heath, man. Heath gonna come with some fire shit, bro. I'm telling you, man. Heath is a big supporter of the Bullies. Heath knows his shit. And I recommend that y'all all follow Heath on Twitter. I think his tag is Battlefield Marine. Yeah, Battlefield Marine. He's Steven69. I hope Heath don't mind me doing that. Heath knows his shit. I be chatting with homie. You know what I'm saying? We go back and forth and we trade opinions. But Heath gonna come with some fire shit. I'm telling y'all, man. Follow Heath. And on the flip side of that, follow Devin on the Xbox side for my Xbox brethren. Devin coming with some. Devin already got something in the oven. See, that's what I'm saying. For me, and it's not even about a choice of a console anymore. It's about being gamers, us having different opinions, and us putting them out there on the table and discussing them, right? So follow Devin got the box too. They about to come with some heat, man. That being said, I'm to respectfully disagree with Heath. I don't think that it's about them being grimy. I think the process is grimy. Meaning the people that own the IGNs and own the GameSpots. That's who I have the issue with. It's not the reviewers themselves. The reviewers can't help if they lack knowledge. They were offered the job by a higher entity. Now, if somebody came to any of us today and said, yo, you can make six figures talking about something, well, I really don't know. We don't care. I like how you put words together. That's all that matters. That's what's attractive. All right, fine. And it's not the reviewers. It's not Dustin Lingari. Let me stop calling that. It's not Dustin Lingari. It's not Ryan McCaffrey and all these other cats out here. It's not them that sit there and do the clickbaity stuff. It's the editors and it's the people above them to make them decisions, right? They the ones that decide to do that stuff. So because they decide to do that, they just turn over to the reviewers and say, yo, just stand in line. And the reviewers are looking at it like, well, damn, I don't even really deserve to be here in the first place. I ain't got the wherewithal. I don't know about these games. I don't be playing these games all like that. And when they do play them all like that, the way that they play them is so shaven. I heard the guy's name is Brandon. I don't know. Brandon Tyrell. Big up to him, man. This is nothing against Brandon. It's something against the system. Brandon was talking about Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Now again, I get everybody don't like it. But he was talking about how he reviewed the game, and and Ghost Recon Breakpoint is designed for you to play it like you Rambo. It's designed for you to guard in the field, take out enemies strategically, and work your way to the next circular area, take that out, get some shit, move on to the next. Now, it do give you the option of hopping choppers and bounce from place to place to place, but that's not how you're supposed to primarily play the game. So Brandon Tyrell had mentioned, well, that's how he played the game, the way that it wasn't supposed to be played, and he couldn't play it the way that it was supposed to be played in so many words because time didn't allow him to do it. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't play it on a harder level Basically is what he said, which is you're not, if you are familiar with the Tom Clancy game, Ghost Recon Breakpoint is not to be played on normal. You got to play it on a harder difficulty, and the way the game is to be played is you travel in the field like you Rambo, taking people out methodically until you get to the next point. If you don't play it like that, then you're not playing the game right. They give you other options to play it. But it's like me playing Metal Gear, all guns blazing. Metal Gear, at the heart of it, is a stealth game. If I want, and let's just say if I don't play Metal Gear, if I play Metal Gear with all guns blazing, I'm like, oh, this game is trash. Well, y'all gonna turn to me and be like, well, you're not supposed to be playing Metal Gear like that. It's semi-stealth MM2K. And that's the way Ghost Recon Breakpoint is. So he basically said, I can't play the game the way that it's intended because I got time restraints. So that's not Brandon Tyrell's fault. That's IGN's fault. And what I was trying to explain to Baron is, and what I'm saying in response to Heath is, it's not that the reviewers are grimy. The system is a problem. So because the system is a problem, the system has to be pulled up from the roots and redone. I'm not mad at anybody that likes Death Stranding. I'm not mad at anybody that enjoys it. I'm not mad if Death Stranding becomes a commercial success, which it may look like that it may not be so much a commercial success. It's not doing as well as Days Gone did, and Days Gone, even though it was charting well at the beginning of the year, it's starting to drop off the stratosphere. And for that point alone, being that Death Stranding can't even touch Days Gone and its outreach, is why it leads to another reason why I say Days Gone deserves to be up on this list better than Death Stranding does. So what I'm saying to everybody is that the problem isn't the reviewer. The reviewer couldn't help that they were approached by a rich entity and told, we're going to give you 6 figures to talk about games in a fancy smancy way that you do it. Would you turn it down? Most of y'all know you wouldn't. You would not turn it down. All right? And that's why you see these mugs, they got to explain themselves after each review. Because they really don't know what they're doing. Or they really don't have a system behind them that appropriately determines what's what. So, by Baron making that comment, now he got to eat his words. He got to eat his words. Because that is a good question. Why isn't Astral Chain up there? Everybody that I've known that has played that game has nothing but good things to say about it. Is it because the people at VGA at the top have an agenda and they wanted to make sure that Death Stranding and Resident Evil 2 got up there and there just wasn't room for Astral Chain because of that? Regardless, hey, we already got a Nintendo game up there. We can't put another one up there. And we're not taking Death Stranding off the list. Now, some people may be listening to this and may be saying, MM2K, that ain't no agenda. That's it. Maybe they fairly did this. But as I'm seeing, Death Stranding is damn well in every category. Are you kidding me? It's nominated in every category? What? That's baloney. So if y'all continue to take this seriously, God bless y'all. My grandma, bless y'all, bless your heart, bless your heart. All right, let's get to these calls, man. Call in, man. 724-739-3612. Matter of fact, even if y'all don't call in, let me see who wanna hop in. Anyone hopping on my live stream? I'm on. Hold on. Rap to my bro Noah. Oh shoot, where my phone at? Let me call my brother Noah. I wonder if he's at work. I think he's at work today. Today's only Tuesday. He on the phone. He up in his DM too, like crazy. And I know Nethos is working. Where's Noah? Where's Noah? Where's Noah? But let me, while I'm looking for Noah, let me read the chat. Andrew, maybe there are people that have an agenda to get rid of Death Stranding from the awards. Hey, yo, I like that. I like that. I should make you a mod for that. I should make you a mod for that. That was a clean uppercut, bro. That's a clean up. You connected with that one. But truth be told, bro, all jokes aside, even though I like that, damn, where the hell's Noah at? No, I ain't got no agenda to get it removed because the Game Awards is a joke to me. Like I said, I don't care about. I'm not trying to remove none of these games. I don't care. I'm just saying, if oh, you at work? Hey, bro, I'm live. Just so you know, I'm live. They can hear you. Are you at work, bro? Oh, damn! I was gonna see if you want to hop on the Discord. Okay.
Yeah, I'm off tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow. I'm trying to do that tomorrow.
Yep. All right, bro.
I got some opinions, about the nominees. So.
You got some opinions about the nominees? I figured you would, man. Yeah.
I'll say it for tomorrow, though, bro.
Okay. All right, man.
All right, bro.
That's my whole. Well, hey, I'm gonna talk to Dirt. I'm gonna get him on. Hey, Ice Queen, what's up? She says, I'm just watching your live streams. I appreciate it, sweetheart. Hey, every bit helps. Heath Stevens said you tried calling? Perfect. Let me check the line. Let me check the line. Let me see what make sure these mugs ain't doing something fuddy-duddy. Let me see here. Let me see here. Make sure these mugs ain't trying to do something. There we go. Hold on.
A mailbox belonging to 4129.
Oh, shoot.
0212 is full and cannot accept new messages.
What? What's going on here? Uh-oh. Why is it going straight to voice? Why is it going? Hold on. Uh-oh. We got to figure something out. Because for some reason, calls ain't working. All right. We're going to figure it out. My bad people. My bad people. I'm gonna get to the nitty gritty because Skype is cutting up. But with that said, hey, big up. Let me see. You need to talk to someone about these nominees. Yeah, man, I'm trying to get. I don't know why the phone line ain't working. Paul Mobiles to Joy. Call and SMS anywhere. I ain't trying to answer. They trying to make me pay to get incoming calls. What the hell? Anyway, so I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. I want to get y'all thoughts on this. We're gonna get this situated. We're gonna get this figured out. Miko Dawson, but let me go to the chat. And well, hold on. Before I get to the chat, free messaging app. This is from Bruce Leroy. He says breakpoint is for dudes who shave their cords with a box cutter. Hey, facts. I've been there too. No. And Cold Blood Sensei said, what is your personal game of the year? I'm leaning, if I had to drop a top 5 list right now, and that's without me playing Jedi Fallen. Oh, okay, now it's working. What the hell? It was working. Hold on. Call back, person. So we see now it was working. Call back. I think that was Heath. Was that you, Heath? Call back, Heath. Yeah, I think that was Heath. Call back, bro. Whoever that was that just called from 202 area code. If I had a top 5, my top 5 would be, and again, this is just me because of my taste. My top 5 would be Division 2, Rage, Metro. Okay, like I said, Division 2, Rage, Metro. Let me see. Ghost Recon Breakpoint. And do I have a fifth one? I really don't have a fifth game. I'm gonna leave that fifth reserved for it might be Jedi Fallen Order, man. Or I haven't touched Control. No! God damn it. I forgot about Borderlands. And Ghost Recon Breakpoint, even though I like it, I have an issue with it. And the issue that I have with Ghost Recon Breakpoint is that the building, like, okay, got somebody calling in. Yo, you are live with MM2K. We just reviewed the Video Game Award nominees. What are your thoughts and who am I speaking to?
It's Heath.
Hey, Heath, what's going on, buddy?
Okay. Now, first of all, we got to go through this shit. Number one, we all know that the media is the games media is just bullshit anymore. Mm-hmm. It's all bullshit. We all know this. We all know award shows are bullshit. Because, I mean, come on. We all know this, okay? Now, the thing that drives me nuts is shit like when Days Gone came out, okay?
Uh-huh.
And all these reviewers reviewed the game, right?
Yeah.
They didn't have the day one patch. Half of them barely played the game and just review bombed the shit out of it. So they didn't even give the game a chance, okay? Now, here's the whole problem is the actual companies behind them, there's no more integrity in it. There's very few. Because it's all clickbait anymore.
Yeah.
They're trying to outrage you to get you on their site so they can make money from their advertising.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
So, just like with Days Gone, or Death Stranding, okay? The guy who reviewed it from IGN told you he don't like them kind of games. So what the hell is he reviewing that kind of game? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That makes no fucking sense to give a review to a person that doesn't like that game. Give it to somebody who's going to give it a fair chance. Because if they don't like it, more than likely, they're not going to dig deep into the game. And I'm sorry to tell people this. You can ask anybody who's actually played Death Stranding. The more you play the game, the more it opens up. If like Neff said, he just rushed through it. He doesn't know half of the shit that is going on in that game because he rushed through it. Like, it's not, and I will say it's not a game for everybody. That's my biggest thing.
Okay.
I know that.
Because I'll say this to compare it to one of your favorite games, Fallout 76. Like, a lot of people that played Fallout 76, they said, "Oh, I don't like this game. It ain't fun." They rushed through it. They just did a couple of they did some of the things where Fallout 76 is just as big, if not bigger, than all the other Fallout games, right? So, rushing through it or not.
Actually, it's not.
It's as big as it may not be as big as Fallout 4, but I think it's as big as Fallout 3.
Where's the NPCs?
Well, I mean that's NPCs. I'm talking about as far as you being able to roam and do different missions.
Why did they come out with paid servers before they came out with content.
They had plenty of content. See, here's the thing.
They pushed back the content till next year. Wastelanders don't come out till next year.
No. Here's the problem, Heath. And again, you got to play these games in order to know what's going on.
All they gotta do is bug fix the fucking game. That's it.
There was a full year of content, like the different story missions and stuff like that was added free of charge. In addition to that, Fallout 76, the way that the storylines work is because there's no NPCs. You go through terminals, and instead of you talking to an NPC and making a decision through a dialogue,
nobody's reading that shit.
No, people are reading. You got to read it. You got to read it in order for you to progress through the game. So people are progressing through the game.
Why make somebody read it when you're known for having NPCs in your game? That makes no fucking sense.
Well, it doesn't.
And now they're gonna add in NPCs. So what was the fucking point?
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense to people that want NPCs in dialogue in the game, but everybody doesn't play NPCs in dialogue. And
everybody who plays Fallout knows it's known for NPCs.
Not true. For the simple fact, and I'll give you another fact, Heath. The problem with
what are you talking about?
The problem with Fallout.
Dude, every Fallout and Bethesda game is known for NPCs. No. If it's an RPG, they have tons of NPCs. No,
I'm telling you that with Fallout, you have a large number of people that don't even follow the storyline. They just go and journey and loot shit. That's a lot of people. Hence why when Fallout New Vegas came out, and again, I don't want to make this a Fallout discussion, but the Fallout New Vegas came out, it got slaughtered the first year or two with all of its NPCs. Everybody hated it. It wasn't until
because the game was fucked up.
So no, it wasn't fucked up for a whole year. It was only fucked up for 3 months. They fixed it after 3 months and it still got slaughtered. It wasn't until that people were adding mods and doing different things with the game and it opened up a lot more that people started liking it. And you got people that normally didn't play Fallout that liked it. I say that to say this. I get where you're coming from. You're absolutely right. That the problem with Fallout is that it was marketed like a big ticket Fallout game when it wasn't. It was only for people. It was only for people that liked Fallout for the journey. It wasn't for your typical people that want to be able to do everything, and that's the problem. So to that point, I totally agree with you that you have a lot
Here's my dilemma with Fallout. Just fix the fucking game. Quit relying on your mod community to fix your fucking game. Half the shit they put in or fix is because of people who do mods. They have no original ideas anymore. None.
Well,
none whatsoever.
What they got to
do? What are they adding in now? Capital Wasteland. You can get that for free.
What they got to do now is they have, and I recommend that everybody that hasn't played the game that really want to know what's going on. Your best bet is don't listen to Yong Ye and all of these outrage culture maniacs. Go to somebody, his name is Juicehead. He actually plays the game and he's hard on them, but he's talking the truth. Check out Juicehead on YouTube.
I follow him too. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. But I'm not buying a Fallout game that is fucking half-baked.
Yeah.
And they didn't put NPCs in and all this shit. He promised shit, and then when they went to get fucking refunds, they denied them. The Australian court ruled against them, and now they're paying refunds. So what does that tell you? They fucking lied. Todd Howard stood at E3 and told us, oh, there's not going to be any microtransactions. It won't be pay to win. He fucking lied.
Well,
he said they're all pieces of shit. Every one of them.
I'll say this because I don't. What I don't want to do is, here's what happens when we go too far left or too far right. Then what these companies do is they say, see, they're going over the top with this. We ain't got to listen to them. We're okay. So it's always better to be right and exact and hit them right in the middle.
They don't listen to anybody anyway. Everybody said they wanted refrigerators. They didn't want to pay for them. They wanted all this other shit. And why did they make it put it into microtransactions? Because all they care about is that money. They could have put it out fucking free. They could have put that out.
Look, here's again, I don't want to make it a Fallout. Here's where I disagree with that. If our outrage is centered on facts and it's appropriate, then what we'll see a ESO situation where people played the game. They said this is dog shit because of XYZ. They were accurate about it, and guess what? ESO now is at 10 million. See, people are all over the place with Fallout. They haven't played it. They're saying shit.
Yeah, but ESO is an MMO. That's not RPG type.
It doesn't matter what genre it is.
Come on.
It doesn't matter what genre it is, Heath. The fact of the matter is that ESO did not provide what people promised. When you got ESO at launch, you couldn't do cave loots. You couldn't do cave loots unless you traveled with a pack. That's not what they promised. I know because I was an alpha tester. And they fixed that because there was outrage and people stopped playing the game. Now, here's what you have with Fallout 76. With Fallout 76, you got a lot of people that are saying a bunch of different stuff that isn't true. So they go back to ZeniMax and their investors and they say, look, these people are all over the place with this. We ain't got to listen to them. But we got to be precise about what's going on. If we're precise about what's going on and people stop playing it on PC, then that'll change. But see, because people are all over the place, nobody knows what to listen to. But I do recommend that people listen to Juicehead. With that said, Heath, I want to get your opinion on, what do you think about Death Stranding being there? Do you think it deserves to be up there? And two, what do you think about the Game Awards altogether? I know you got into it a little bit, but what are your two thoughts on that?
I think all the Game Awards, they're all bullshit. It's all just a popularity contest. It's political behind the scenes. I mean, that's just the way it is. Mm-hmm. But just like earlier, you said about, why wasn't Days Gone, up for Game of the Year? Yep. Because they had technical issues with that game. Mm-hmm. You can't nominate a game that from day one has technical issues and it takes them a little bit to get everything out. Like Death Stranding from jump is a fucking beautiful game. Mm-hmm. Now, it's not for everybody, but if you take the time to learn it, it is deep. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's that's why it's so hard to pin down, because it's not one game. There's never been anything like this that's so, you know what I mean? It's just, it's a hard thing to pin down because it's into so many different areas. Yep. You know what I mean? Yep. It's like not a multi-platform, but Yeah,
I got you. No, you're saying it's like a multi-genre game. All right, but okay. So
it has multiple things in it. It's just not one thing. You know what I mean?
And so let me ask you this, Heath. With that being said, now you said that there's more levels to the game that a lot of people are talking about. With that being said, being that this game is quote unquote polarizing, do you think a polarizing, and again, I'm not saying that people shouldn't buy the game. I don't care what people buy. But do you think a polarizing game should be up there for Game of the Year?
Yeah, it can be. I don't see and who knows? They could be doing, it could be just because it is polarizing to get more, outrage or whatever. You know what I mean? Just like years ago when Overwatch won. Overwatch didn't deserve to be even nominated for Game of the Year because it's a half a game. Mm-hmm. They have all them crazy characters and they don't put a story in it. That's just fucking lazy. You know what I mean? And then now they're going to come out with a story-based Overwatch bullshit, like blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? I
got you. No, I was just reading on Hey, guess what?
I don't know.
Guess what? This will make you happy. Fallout 76 has update 15 patch notes.
Yeah, but listen, they have to quit adding anything to that and fix it. That's all they got to do, and then they don't have to worry about shit. But look at Fallout 4. There's still legacy bugs that's in there to this fucking day that modders have fixed, and they're just too fucking lazy. Just like that new DLC's coming out, next week for all the Bethesda games, right? Mm. They're on that Capital Wasteland shit. The modding community already did that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't give a fuck. And that's why I'm not going to support shit like that. Just like Battlefield. Mm-hmm. I'm a Battlefield guy. This shit that they did with Battlefield, whenever Andrew Wilson was up there and said, "Oh, you don't like it, don't buy it." Yeah. I fucking flipped over that. I'm like, yeah, and you wonder why you're not going to sell games, huh? I wonder if it's the CEO telling you not to fucking buy the game. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't get into. Yeah, I don't. That's why I say it's never. And I learned at an early age. I don't get into political stuff. Only time.
Man, I don't like Death Stranding being Game of the Year. I don't like it because he's in the game.
Yeah.
Because Keighley's actually in the game.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I don't like about it. Now, if he would have separated it out and gave some kind of weird other award, fine. I don't care. Like, I mean, I think Death Stranding is a good game. Like, it's beautiful. It looks better than fucking Gears. And that's a fact.
Oh, no. I think Death Stranding, I'm going to go out on the limb, Heath. Now, I have the base PlayStation 4. So I'm going to be honest. Sometimes when I see rain, the textures drop, but that's on the base PlayStation 4. I will say this, that when it's working at all the bells and whistles, it's the best looking game I've seen on the console, period. I will say that. No doubt. You can't take that away from the game. The game is gorgeous.
And the game runs well too. It runs good. Like, I have Star Wars Battlefront 2 PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it runs good.
Post up is in the chat. He says, Death Stranding does not look better than Gears 5. Nah, Post up, I'm sorry, it does. It does. And Gears 5 to me looks fantastic, but Death Stranding on console looks better than Gears on console. I'm sorry.
So Gears is a reskin of 4 with a new story. That's all it fucking is. We all know that. They need to let them games down and work on new IP. That's what they need to do.
Heath, we know that. I don't want to make. Hey, look, Heath. Before we get too deep into it, I don't want to make Post Up cry, and he tell on me. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna stop it right there. But no,
man, Post Up. If Gears is so great, why isn't it in the top 20? It's fucking nowhere. Gears has been forgotten about. As soon as COD came out, nobody cared. That is just how it works. If they were that dumb to release their game right before COD, that's what happens to other shooters.
Hey,
sorry,
Heath,
but
no, I was gonna say, Heath, I appreciate you calling in, man. Hey, you know, we can go at it all. We do it. Me and Heath do this all day in the DM, right? So y'all got a piece of me and Heath. Live action on the DM, and I always appreciate it. Always makes the show good. But thank you for calling, Heath. I appreciate it, brother.
Hell yeah. We'll talk later sometime.
All right, Heath.
Later, man.
All right. Now that's my brother Heath, man. I don't want to make Post Up, man. He go call Phil on me. Hey, Phil, you cap it. Hey, Post Up, stop it. You know I've been dogging Death Stranding more than anybody. Who is this? Cold Blood Sensei. In the free messaging app. Thank you, Cold Blood. I appreciate you and your support. He says, do you remember Todd saying 60 times the details of Fallout 4 left me out? The game looks worse at launch. No, that is true. That is true. He did say that. I'm going to be honest with you, though. For Fallout, again, I don't want to make this a Fallout thing. I don't want to be talking about no 2018 game at the 2019 Video Game Awards. With that being said, I will say that a lot of people don't play Fallout for its graphical prowess, even though they do got to work on quality of life issues. And a lot of things that he said is right. I just know what I know about Bethesda, and they got. I'm gonna just leave it at this. Follow my homie Juicehead's channel. He be dropping the real on Fallout, Bethesda, and the whole deal. He dropped the real. He dropped that math, and he don't be sitting there. Oh, this is the great. He dropped the real, but his shit is precise. If more people were following what he was saying, you will see bigger and better changes with the game. So it is what it is. That being said, let me see. I know we had somebody else call in, and me and Heath were chopping it up. So if anybody else want to call in, leave a voice message. Since my voice message is full, I'm sorry. I don't even see. I can't see having any voice messages. But if anybody want to call in right now, call in live. Let me know. Post Up says, fuck y'all in this chat. Hey, yo, get him. Get him with that feel shit. Get him with that feel shit. Get him with that feel shit. Get him for that feel loving. All that feel loving. That said, let me see. We going an hour and 10 minutes, man. I appreciate Heath. Come on, Restream. What you doing? Restream cutting up, bruh. The Restream just went out on me. I'm trying to see all my other chats. But not like this post. They killing my boy Post Up, man. But yeah, man. I don't know how I feel about I don't know how I feel about the state of gaming in general. You know, because like I described earlier, we got entities that either don't know what they're doing. Okay, so I don't know why. Hey, 206, I see you trying to call back. I'm gonna close. My bad. Let me close this and try to open Skype back up. Skype is cutting up. I'm gonna open it back up. 206, I think, left a voice message. So let's play his voice message. Okay, I don't hear nothing from 206. Okay. No, they tried to call in. Yeah, my bad, 206. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm sorry. Skype is just cutting up today. God damn your Skype. But that's it, man. Yeah, I don't know about the state of video games right now. I don't know how I feel about them. You know, I don't like them. And when I say video games, I mean the reviewers. I don't like the reviewers. I don't like the entities. And again, it's all because, I mean, I've been doing this for 30 plus years and I've seen where this festered from. All this started to change when Game Informer became the #1 magazine. When EB Games got bought out, because it was a battle between Game Informer and GMR. This is before the net really flew off the way it did. Because, you know, surfing the internet on your phones wasn't as easy as it was now, and as like part of life as it is now. So people still had the hard magazines, you know what I'm saying? And in having the hard magazines, you know, I think GMR and Game Informer were battling back and forth over the minds of gamers in their critiques. And GMR was always, even though Game Informer may have had more subscribers, GMR was always considered the choice of the hardcore. You know what I'm saying? Just how thorough and just how tough their stance was. All right, call him back. Okay. It is your boy MM2K. You're live with him talking about these VGA 2019 nominations. Who am I talking to? And spill your truth.
What's up, man? It's Andrew in the chat, man.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's going on? Y'all Xbox guys gonna have to admit y'all always wrong about games. I've been playing that Stranding. It's fucking amazing. It really is. Y'all did the shit with God of War. Y'all was wrong. Y'all talked shit about Days Gone. That was a good ass game. Y'all just gotta just stop it, man.
Okay. So let me bounce this off you and get your thoughts on this. Okay. So God of War, definitely. I remember when I was in the chat. And I was like, yeah, that shit looks like another movie thing. And then when I got the game in my hands, the fight with the stranger blew me away. Now, Days Gone, you know, it's cool. It's cool. But Death Stranding, bruh. Now, with God of War, that shit was immediate that I felt that. Days Gone, it took me some time. I'm like, okay, this is cool. But Death Stranding, bruh. Like, I get why people can like it, because if you're more of a story-based gamer, doing the little things in between the story. But let's say this. Can you admit that God of War and Days Gone both have more broad appeal than Death Stranding?
No. Death Stranding got way more broad appeal than Days Gone, because I'm telling you, this is definitely a game that people are talking about more, and you can tell this is a game people are putting more time into. Look at the big people like Mr. 4K and people are. This is a game where I'll be playing this joint, missing sleep to go to work, bro. You play this game 5 hours go by like it's nothing. I'm 40 hours in and I ain't even that deep into the game. That's how much I like the game. I can easily put 400-500 hours into this game. Oh my God. So this is a better game to stream, and that streaming is what really influence people to play themselves and pick the copy up. So streaming wise and like content creator wise, Death Stranding is going to have more of an influence on the gaming community than Days Gone with. Even though Days Gone was a good game, it was kind of drawn out.
So I think one last question, brother, because you hit me, you throw me to another dimension with this. But one last question. So if you feel that Days Gone has less appeal, what do you think attributes to the fact that Death Stranding doesn't have as many sales, and that it has a bigger drop off, being that in its second week it dropped off 71% in the UK? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, far as the EMEAA rating, it was number 2 across the world, second behind COD. I don't know what the total sales is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, far as Days Gone has simple gameplay as far as the streaming. I mean, everybody likes a zombie shooter. Motherfuckers love Resident Evil. People love Dying Light. It gives you that feel. And it's apocalyptic. It gives you that Last of Us fight feel. So the trailers itself is going to attract most of the casual people. Death Stranding is a game that you probably will have to play a Kojima game, or you probably just have to know it's something that you have to get into. Same thing with PT. Nobody knew what PT was going to be. But PT was that type of game, you just had to really get into it. People were going to buy it. But far as the trailers, there was nothing in the trailers that really captivates you completely. It was always left with questions. So people were just going to have to give it a chance. Like I said, this is a game that's going to continue to sell through the month. Like, it's really that good, man. I'm putting way more hours in this game than I started even with God of War. It's a really good game.
Okay. Well, Andrew, I'm gonna leave that as your truth. I'm gonna leave that as your gospel, brother. We'll take that in. You got some people in the chat. They antagonizing you, but some people with you, brother. Some people with you, brother.
I would just say this, y'all Xbox fans always wrong about who y'all follow. Content creators, y'all favorite content creators, frauds. The games I told y'all crackdowns should have been canceled. I was right about that. I've been telling y'all kids in Halo ain't. I'll be right about that. Hey, tell my homeboy Dirk Briggity, he need to pull a mass game when it comes to PlayStation side.
Oh, shoot. Uh-oh.
You know, mass game used to be a PlayStation guy. Now he flipped. Tell Dirk to flip come to the PlayStation side. He ain't gonna get my... Hey, Xbox people don't like us, but y'all Xbox people, y'all racist. Y'all give none of us brothers no love, support, donation. I don't know what it is. Real talk.
Hey yo, Andrew, I appreciate that, brother. Hey, I'm gonna let Dirk know. Hey, Andrew, right. I'm gonna let Dirk know. But if he kicked me off the show, you have to put me on your podcast, okay, brother?
I have to start one up, man. All right, okay.
All right, man. Peace out. Have a good one.
Peace out.
Hey, big up to Andrew for that one, man. Yo, Heath Stevens said he isn't lying. There's something addictive about Death Stranding. Woo! Well, I must have a high tolerance, man. Because hey, look, man, I just can't hack it. You know what? And it's to the point. And look, man, for people that like the game, great. But I will say that there's a lot when to say Days Gone is outdoing Death Stranding. It's made by a far less notable studio. The studio behind it did Siphon Filter, Megastream, one of my more favorite games of the PlayStation brass, but they haven't done a AAA game on a console in years. And Kojima's a big household name. I think he's selling games off of his name and off of because it's so polarizing. He said the game is polarizing himself. You know, this isn't MM2K saying it. This is Kojima. So with that being said, I don't know, man. Hey, Andrew, this is the internet. It don't go away. You said it's going to sell more over time. We just going to see, my good brother. But I definitely appreciate you for calling in and calling behind Heath. Hey, man, y'all, you and Heath on the front lines, man. We will see. But it's as far as sales are concerned, comparison to Days Gone. And Matt Piscatella said it himself. This is a slower year for gaming. You know what I'm saying? Specifically against 2018. It's a slower year. Now October year over year wasn't bad, even though 2018 still blew it out the water. But October 2018 was just one of a kind. It was one of a kind. You know, I think that's when Red Dead Redemption 2 dropped, and you know, a bunch of, so it was on the heels of Spider-Man dropping, and Spider-Man is one of the most successful games this whole generation, right? So with all that being said, you know what I mean? it says a lot that Days Gone, that started off rough, rugged, and raw, dropped far off the radar, that Death Stranding, a Kojima game, Kojima's a household name, that game it's not doing as good as a lesser known Days Gone that came out at the beginning of the year. This is prime buying time, baby. Say that fast 5 times. This is prime buying time, baby. But my homie Andrew and my homie Heath, they saying it's going to stand the test of time. We shall see. But anybody want to call? Hey, yo, everybody else want to call in, man? I appreciate Heath doing it. I appreciate Andrew. Again, your boy MM2K, my thoughts are Video Game Awards to suspect. Again, I gave y'all my top 5 to let y'all know that I have my own personal bias, but despite my own personal bias, I can look outside of my likes. I can think outside of the box, and I can look at a more well-rounded situation. And the current games of the year, for those of y'all that are just coming in, the current games of the year are Control, Death Stranding, Super Smash, Resident Evil 2, Sekiro, and Outer Worlds. And my personal opinion on it is, I don't know how I feel about Resident Evil 2, a remake, being up there. I don't know how, again, that just, and then 2, on top of that, it raises my suspicion meter, the fact that Death Stranding is there. And Death Stranding is like, what post up? It's in every single category. So it seems like that this thing is rigged, that Death Stranding is going to do not only win Game of the Year, but do a grand sweep. And so now my question is, now that everybody's caught up, before I go, if anybody want to answer this question, whether in the chat, and the free messaging app, or if you want to call in. Ooh. Didn't mean to put that out there. I put a tweet out there instead of putting out. If y'all want to answer it in the free messaging app, if y'all want to answer it in the, come on, man. Oh, shoot. All silky now. Now it's cutting up again. If y'all want to answer it in the free messaging app, if you want to answer it in the chat, or if you want to answer it, via phone call. My question now to everybody is this. If Death Stranding wins Game of the Year and it does like a clean sweep or wins the majority of these other awards, does that officially make the Video Games Awards hosted by Jeff Keighley, his brand, a farce? Yeah, I'm trying to, Mr. Righteous Fit. Oh, there it goes. That should be it. All right, so there you go. Again, my question now to everybody before we roll. If now that Death Stranding seems to be nominated in pretty much every category, if Death Stranding not only wins Game of the Year, but wins every single category or wins the majority of the categories, does that officially make Jeff Keighley's Video Game Awards a farce? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the free messaging app. Let me know via phone call. Come and speak your truth. Come and speak your truth like my homie Andrew, like my homie Heath. They believe that Death Stranding is going to survive the test of time, man. Forget that 71% drop, man. More people talking about this more than anything, which is true. More people are everybody talking about this game. Everybody talking about this game. But you got to take into consideration, too, at one point in time, everybody was talking about Fallout 76. And I can tell you that at least on console, ain't nobody, well, I ain't going to say nobody playing it because it was back up during the most played for Xbox. People are playing it, but they're not like me. People are playing the game. Are there a lot of people playing it like a typical Fallout game? No. But there are a lot of people playing it, and the vast majority are people on PC. Look at the streaming sites. It has a bigger following than Gears. You know what I'm saying? It's just that community has gone underground and they're not talking to anybody because they don't want to get attacked. They don't want to get attacked. Because you got the outrage culture that will chop you down and serve you for breakfast. We got in the free messaging app. I want to thank everybody. I didn't forget about y'all. I'll call when my phone gets fixed. Tsunami stole it and tried to switch the SIM card. That FN. Also, the app is free. Help MM2K out. Thank you. Bruce Leroy. Thank you. And we also got Tsunami says this is the first year Sony doesn't have a studio nominated for Game of the Year, but Microsoft does. Oh shit. You hate to see it. Oh. Yeah. I mean, yeah, no. I'm, you know, again, I don't care about these award shows as far as them being a litmus to me. I care about, the only thing the Video Game Awards show is good for me on is the new content, the new video releases and the world premieres and shit. I think that's dope. I think Geoff Keighley is beyond his league as far as gamer sentiment. I think that's where he outweighs his talents. We got Paul G. Thank you, Paul, for supporting the channel. He says, no, it just says they are gamers and love Death Stranding. Ass, troll up. What happened to her, FN? Hey, y'all, I appreciate y'all, man, showing y'all love. Thank you very much. The free messaging app. You can call in. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what your thoughts are. Hold on. Somebody just tried to call in. I think this is the homie Mr. Righteous Fish. Mr. Righteous Fish, hold on 1 second. I'm hanging up I think it's Restream, bro. I think it's Restream cutting up. So let me do this. I'm gonna go to the web. I'm gonna pull up my Restream chat that way. Where's Restream at? I'll pull my Restream chat up this way. Because the Restream app, I think, is cutting up. I want to open the browser. Okay, let's do it this way. So I'm going to miss a lot of these. Nah, I ain't going to do it. I don't want to miss y'all. Y'all been showing some big time support. Crazy, man. Restream, get your shit together, man. You making me, you're embarrassing me. You're embarrassing my brand. You doing a deep batch. You're embarrassing my brand. Microsoft's grubby hands didn't mold the Outer Worlds. Brigadier William Wildebeest. I appreciate you for that comment, man. I will say this, that I gotta be honest with you, man. I gotta be honest with y'all. I am disappointed that as we talk about Obsidian, I don't know, who's disappointed? I ain't gonna talk about, look, I told Griggity, I don't want him kicking me off the podcast. He called me up. He said, brother, I'm gonna burn your lawn up. And I'm gonna throw smoke bombs in your crib. You say something else about Xbox. And I said, Griggity, don't do that. He's like, I'm gonna kick you off the show. I'm gonna kick your ass and I'm gonna burn down your house. So I'm not gonna talk about Xbox. I just wanna ask y'all this. Are y'all disappointed that the next game from Obsidian that was advertised, after the phenomenal feat that, even though, and again, I can look outside of my own biases, the phenomenal feat that Outer Worlds is, are y'all disappointed that the next thing that Obsidian as being ushered for Microsoft, the next thing that they're advertising is Grounded? Are y'all disappointed in that? Let me know as well. So the two big questions on the hot plate is, if Death Stranding wins Game of the Year and does a full sweep of these awards, is VGA's, is Jeff Keighley's brand as being a major player, is it done? And two, because we're talking about the VGAs and Obsidian being, I think, up there for Developer of the Year. Are y'all disappointed that the first thing that's coming exclusive to the Xbox ecosystem after the phenomenon of Outer Worlds, that the first thing that the Xbox fans are going to benefit from is, honey, the homeboys ate the roaches? Let me know what y'all think. Free message in that. Call in the chat. Whatever y'all want to do, let me know. Let me go to the chat while we're waiting. So No Rush said it's done by a real small team within Obsidian, ain't it? To my understanding, this isn't the team that worked on Outer Worlds. Here's the thing, man. I think that we need to get to the point to where we stop talking about small team this and small team that. Didn't Obsidian come out and say that, oh, we got a call, let me shut up. All right, you are on with MM2K. We're talking about the Video Game Awards. Who am I speaking to? And speak your truth.
This is Trey the Great.
Oh, Trey! Hey, brother, now I want to hear what you got to say. What do you got to say about all this VGA goodness? What is your thoughts?
Well, first things first, the fact that Death Stranding won, well, not won, but pretty much is nominated throughout the whole goddamn show.
Yeah.
So literally, we only got to sit through this whole show, just sitting here hoping, praying, and pleading to God that they don't win half the awards going on here today. Then for Game of the Year, Control literally comes out of nowhere. And the fact that Ben, I don't even know if he's going to show up on today's show or not, because Astro Chain has not been nominated. After this man has capped, he has said this and that, he has proclaimed to the world that Astro Chain will be Game of the Year nominated and Game of the Year winner. They're not even in the damn conversation.
Hey, Trey, I haven't been in the DMs because of course I'm live. Has there been any signs of Baron? Is he alive? Did anybody do like a wellness check on him?
Baron sent out a tweet. He sent out a tweet.
Okay.
Pretty much saying like, pretty much this is atrocious. This is blasphemous. This is out of line. This Game Award should be boycotted. You know, typical, you know, Nintendo nerds got them crying over their little games not getting nominated. You know, whatever one they championed for.
Yeah.
But hey, on the plus side, at least Smash Brothers got nominated for Game of the Year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Just saying.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if that's a plus for them.
Hey, bruh, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If Kojima does win, can you answer my two questions for me? If Kojima does win with Death Stranding Game of the Year, and this game wins, let's just say even a majority of the Video Game Awards, what do you think that says about Jeff Keighley's brand?
If it goes the way that I'm hoping it doesn't go, if it goes to the point where these jokers just absolutely clean sweep, then it needs to go into question on Jeff Keighley's part of what the hell's going on behind the scenes. Like, I don't think you should be running an award show if this is going to happen, because it's already suspect at the point of why is Death Stranding getting nominated throughout the whole entire show.
Yeah,
it's already questionable. But if they mess around and sweep, oh yeah, it's going to be highly questionable, and it's going to discredit everything there is to do with this goddamn game show or this little award show that they got. If they mess around and win half, people are going to be looking like, okay, you know, it's still going to be questionable. But the thing is, if it wins Game of the Year, just off of Game of the Year alone, in my opinion, will send it over the edge of people saying, hey, this ain't right. Like, the fact that, for one, Jeff Keighley is in the game, and two, it is well known that he is a proud champion of goddamn Kojima. He's the lead Kojima night, as I call him. It's pretty much right then and there saying, yo, we might need to discredit this guy. Like, you might have to, it might have to get to the point of, I don't know how like voting goes. I know it's up to the fans. Like pretty much now he says it's completely up to the fans. So, you know, now it's like, you know, the burden's off his back. You know, he don't make the dang on decision of what goes on. But at the same time, it's like now you put it in the fans' hands. There's a lot of Death Stranding fans out there, especially a lot of fanboys out there that's capping for Kojima just alone. So,
yeah.
If anything, we just gotta hope that some gamers actually vote and actually will come to their senses and realize, hey, we need to vote this off of not just because this game exists, but off of what really counts as a game of the year. What should be considered truly game of the year. And the way the voters should go about it is, if they feel like that shit is it, and they really feel in their hearts that it's it, then go ahead and vote for it. But if you don't, then you need to go ahead and vote for what you truly believe and not just follow the crowd because you're a fanboy or you're capping for this system or that system alone.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
Oh, I totally agree, bro. I mean, I remember when game reviews, again, they were all over the place, man. They were all over the place. You had these mainstream gamers like that fall into the category that Jeff Keighley falls into. But then you had people that were authentic, and the authentic people have been shoved off the face of the earth, and now you got all the, you know, they post up shoved them off the flat earth, right?
Right.
He chucked them off the corner tray, and then you just got this. And if Death Stranding wins Game of the Year, sweeps, I don't care if Death Stranding is, if you like Death Stranding and it is your Game of the Year. Let's be real here. Game of the Year represents like broader appeal. Okay, even if it's within a genre that a lot of people wouldn't normally touch. And I'm letting y'all know right now that this ain't hitting for a lot of people. This ain't hitting for a lot of people
right.
that normally wouldn't be, you know, into something like this. And if they win, it's no reason to celebrate because next year could be something that you ain't into, but Jeff is into. You see what I'm saying? And Jeff is just using his own agenda, and he'll make that number one. So unless the way you feel about games coincides 100% with Jeff, I wouldn't cap for this anyway. And number two, even if it did, why are you happy about this? This is not authentic. This is not authentic, and this is not what a Game Awards show that's supposed to be for the broad gamer for the gamer at a broad sense should be about. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I perfectly agree. I mean, it's like, I mean, like I'm looking at the chat right now. It's literally, someone literally said 10 nominations. Like, Death Stranding has literally gained 10 nominations. Like I said, they're nominated throughout the whole damn night.
Yeah.
Like, really, it's already, like, I'm already questioning Jeff Keighley alone just off of that because at the end of the day, he's the one who makes the nomination. Exactly. Now, at the same time, we don't want to vote.
He's trying to say that Jeff Keighley is that, you know, let's start a debate. He thinks this is going to work in his favor. So I don't know.
Exactly. Like he's sitting there trying to pull the wool over people. But the thing is, if you really pay attention, you know that, hey, I'm not the one nominating this shit. The fans ain't the ones nominating these games to come up there. At the end of the day, it's Keighley and whoever the hell is on that board of nominees or whatnot. Maybe it's just him alone. But either way, somebody over there is nominating these games. We're just the ones voting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's already highly questionable on what's going on. Now we're about to see this controversy unfold come December 12th.
Yeah. Yep. And people will argue that, hey, I battled my chat and they said, hey, there's a group of scholars that are part of the Game Award. Cut it. No, there's not. At the end of the day, the guy that's in charge runs the shop. And you know, it's like, and if you don't like the results, it's being changed. It's like that meme where, you know, something else was supposed to, Resident Evil 2 was supposed to win Game of the Year, and then he still announced Death Stranding. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop it.
Exactly.
Stop.
Exactly. Right. Like that. I mean, if anything, I mean, it could go down like that to where it could end up like that. But if it does end up like that, we voted for it. Now, at the same time, there could be a controversy where he messed around and pulled that stuff. But I doubt he would really risk his whole little award show that he's been working on ever since he's been a part of that Spike Video Game Awards in yesteryear. So I doubt he would really just screw the gang on people like that. But I mean, other than that, I mean, like I say, at the end of the day, people are going to vote for whatever they're going to vote for. And it's just gonna get to the point where you're gonna have those people who've been capping for this game, ain't even play a lick worth of it, and probably ain't even play a damn worth of it, and it's gonna be either voting against it or for it. Now, me personally, my game of the year pick is gonna be pretty much Resident Evil 2 or possibly Super Smash Brothers. I mean, you know, throughout the years, Smash Brothers has always had a strong following. Same with Resident Evil 2. They're sure it's a new kid on the block, but at the same time, it's made by Kojima, who is like a god in some of these gamers' eyes. Me personally, I don't find him much as a god. I mean, the guy's considered this great person. I just feel like he's an egomaniac, to be honest.
Oh, well, it'll be interesting to see, Trey, but hey, bro, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate it, man, for sharing your thoughts, man.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, man. Have a good show.
Hey, you too. I appreciate it. All right, that was the homie Trey giving me a good chuckle, man. But, I mean, you know, I really can't disagree. We also got homie Cold Blood Sensei again, man. Thank you for the support. Xbox have only one excuse for these trash cartoon games. They only the B team, the C team, insert here in the alphabet. You know, hey, look, I'm gonna continue off of what I was saying before Trey called, what Trey was saying, and to Cold Blood Sensei, I'm gonna finish it with this. We gotta stop with this. This was the A team, the B team, and the C team. We gotta stop that. Okay. Let's stop it. Okay. We learned with Mass Effect that, that was only the A team. With Mass Effect Andromeda, that was only the A team. I mean, that was only the B team. That was only the pickle team. But the team, but the Mercedes-Benz team, they gonna do, and then we got, you know what I'm saying, Anthem. You know what I mean? Like, when are we gonna stop this? These are all these people work together. They all have tenure. They all have legacy, you know, as developing games with each other. You know what I'm saying? They all have lineage is the word that I'm looking for. So with that being said, and big ups to the homie, Buck Dad, he said, Impeachfield, hashtag Impeachfield. I'm with you, brother. With that being said, we got to stop with this A team, B team. Like they go to the unemployment lines and say, hey, you know, for some cheese and butter, come work out at Obsidian for a couple days and make a game. These are people with lineage, with experience. They know how to make games, okay? So I don't want to hear about no 13 teams. You know, we had a small team that created Hellblade, and look at the critical acclaim that it got. And these 13 people, they gonna get paid like the other 187 that are there at Obsidian. So stop that foolishness. It's foolishness to me. Okay? With that being said, it says a lot to me personally, and I'll embellish on this a lot more on Scram Punks tomorrow, and then later today on Z Show. I think I'm gonna be there for Z Show. I gotta pick up my Google phone. I gotta get ready for Stadia, y'all. With that being said, I'm gonna embellish on that. I want to say this though, that after the success of Outer Worlds, my Xbox brethren were jumping out their shoes and socks because they said, man, we got a quality studio that can make things just for us, that can make our ecosystem even better. And you want that because the more your ecosystem looks better, the more enticing it is for more consumers. And the more enticing that it is for more consumers, the more it's going to get funded, the more it's going to supplement and it's going to back fund the shit that you like, right? And that's why I don't fully like this term pocket watching. Like my Xbox brethren love coming up with these snazzy terms, pocket watching and fear mongering, and they think this is going to change the tides for Xbox. They want to do polygons and compute units and shaders. Meanwhile, they're coming out with, honey, we ate the roaches. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all don't get it. It's like Z said, who cares if the Scarlet console is going to be more powerful if you're coming out with this shit? Who cares? And y'all ain't getting it. Y'all so entrenched and deep in the trenches over bibble babble, over talking points, over buzzwords, instead of the meat and potatoes. Who cares? Get on the meat and potatoes. Nobody care about no goddamn quote-unquote pocket watching. It's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. I want to know how successful my entity that I'm investing in is, because if it's not successful, I'm not going to continue to invest in it. Now, on the same token, I don't think people should be worried about, oh, is Microsoft making money right now off of Game Pass? Because that's not important. The business model is still a successful business model, even if they're not front-loaded with revenue, for the simple fact that Disney Plus is using the same model. We're not questioning them. The problem is the content. The business model isn't the problem. The problem is the content. There's nothing wrong with people questioning somebody's business model. These same people that say, stop pocket watching, a couple of weeks prior, were posting stock prices. That, it don't make any sense. I don't know if I'm in another dimension, like I'm on Watchmen, if I'm being thrown through multiple dimensions or what. The same people that want to coin phrases like pocket watching a few weeks prior was doing some console war stuff, talking about stock prices. If that ain't pocket watching, and then they don't even know what the hell they was talking about. I don't know. I can't make this shit up anymore. With that being said, you as an Xbox gamer, you finally get to say, we got something that we can call our own. That'll again bring more people into our fray. That'll help subsidize, is the word I was looking for. That'll help subsidize games that we like, right? That'll bring more people into the ecosystem. And then after you see the stunning hit, which is Outer Worlds, like it or not, you're like, okay, but this is close to a AAA banger, and it's getting critical acclaim. It's even nominated for Game of the Year. Wow. They're picking from the tree now. They said, come to XO19 and see the fruits of our labor come to fruition from us picking up Obsidian. And you're like, golly, this show's going to be trash, but at least we're going to see something interesting from the tree of Obsidian, now that we can officially call our own. And what do we see? Do we see a AAA banger? No. Do we see a AA banger that Obsidian has been doing with games like Tyranny and Divinity? No. Do we see something in the lines of Obsidian's 20-year lineage that made us excited that they came in the first place? No. We see kids running underground, chasing roaches with bamboo shoots. I repeat, we see kids running underground, chasing roaches with bamboo shoots. And people are like, well, what are you mad about? There's got to be diverse. This is not what we wanted to see Obsidian do. This is not what we were excited for. When you invest into a product or something, you have an expectation. It either has to reach that expectation or exceed it. And I don't care what nobody said. If I would have showed you a picture of Grounded and said, Microsoft is buying Obsidian, this is their next game, y'all would have laughed and said, ha, you're full of shit, MM2K. When Microsoft picked up Obsidian, this was not what y'all were expecting to fall from that tree, or the first fruit to fall from that tree, especially after the Outer Worlds' critical acclaim. So please stop the bullshit. Stop it. It's all about number of games, and we don't care about number of games. We care about quality. The argument has been that the quality has been zapped out of Xbox since Phil took the helm. It's not like we had 360 type quality at the beginning of the gen, but at least it was feasible. Now that Phil's at the helm, we're getting all this family-friendly, same kidsy aesthetic. And now Obsidian with a 20-year lineage of top-tier adult-themed games. The first fruit to fall from that tree is something that they've never done. Something y'all would have never expected to come from them when they were announced as being now part of Microsoft Studios. And now y'all talking about what you disappointed for. Stop it. Again, if I would have showed you a picture of Grounded when we said that we were picking Obsidian up, you would be like, man, shut up, man. You full of shit. You capping. You out here making up shit. So stop it. Stop it. With that said, let me go to my chat. Pete Stevens says, MM2K because Microsoft wants to put their games on Nintendo. Paul G says Microsoft needs sugary, sweet, fruity games with low budgets for xCloud and Game Pass. I agree with both of those sentiments. But also we got in the free messaging app, Tsunami. Big up to the homie Tsunami. He says Obsidian's next game was made by 12 people. Bleeding Edge was made by 20. Stop it. These studios, stop. Tsunami, your feet not rhetoric. We've already learned from Mass Effect, Andromeda over to Anthem that the A team, the B team talking point is bullcrap. It's bullcrap. These same 13 people that are working on Grounded, the Roach Simulator, they ain't developed other games. They don't have a long lineage. They went to the welfare line, caught a couple of mugs and applied for cheese and butter and said, make these games? No. 12, 20, stop, who cares? These people have lineage, they have experience. Stop it. And then Obsidian said they're breaking down into smaller teams from here on out anyway. All of a sudden. So therefore I agree with both sentiments. They want to put their stuff on Nintendo. They want to fill their games with Game Pass. That's what I feel was going to happen. More likely than not, that them utilizing Obsidian at their fullest ability. They're going to get Obsidian. They look, first the initiative said we're going to work as a smaller team. And now Obsidian talking about they dropping into smaller teams. They are trying to fill up Game Pass with content on the level of Apple games and Google Play games. That's what they're trying to do, man. They ain't trying to really put out AAA content nowhere near the vicinity they did in the 360 era. Or the OG Xbox era. That's why I said I'm done with the system. But I'm not making this an Xbox bashing thing. I'm just talking about Obsidian. Are y'all disappointed that this is Obsidian's the first release, the first fruit that dropped from that tree? And the answer deep down inside is yeah, they're not going to admit it. Bruce Leroy said Microsoft put their stank on Obsidian, Outer Wilds to Saturday morning cartoons. Facts. Cold Blood Sid say again, said all these Fortnite games looking like Z hella spook. I almost fell off my chair that day. Facts. Heath Stevens also says that MM2K they easily put it to mobile. Facts. Mr. Righteous Fist, Microsoft isn't growing their base, just milking the existing one. I believe that's partially true, but I do think they want to get into, like Heath alluded to, the more mobile friendly arena. Like the dude that's part of what do you call that? Sea of Thieves, he admitted on Mooch and Crap Show that his thing was he was trying to make games that were easily the reason why Sea of Thieves who this? Sea of Thieves has that aesthetic is because they try to make games that are easily approachable on multiple devices. Hold on one second. That was y'all calling back. But that's what it is, man. Sickening. But with that said, I'm gonna close out because I'm trying to do the show with Z at 5. And I gotta go get my Google product. So I want to thank everybody that came through. One more in the free messaging chat. Paul G says, no, it just says gamers and love DS as troll up. Oh, hold on. And they called him troll up. Killing me. It's funny they called him troll up. I apologize, y'all. Something's wrong with my restream, so I can't shout out everybody. But I want to thank everybody for joining. It's freezing up. I don't know if frames are dropping here, but I want to thank everybody. And again, do me a favor, man. Support the channel. Y'all did great supporting the channel, man. If y'all want to go over to twitch.tv/MightyMost2000. If y'all not following me now, go over there and follow me. I'm gonna start streaming some more games, which include Death Stranding. I'm gonna finish that. I'm gonna finish that Outer Worlds and Last Jedi or Jedi Fallen Order. I'm picking that up today. You know, follow me there. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to opine, subscribe to your boy. Every little bit helps. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man, and I'm gonna get more into this with Z Stream, so I don't want to get a bag out too much. I kept my Google pre-order because of y'all, because I want to test this out. With the limited, and I said this in the podcast last week, with the limited reach that it has as far as portability at launch, I lost all my enthusiasm for Google Stadia. You know me personally, I'm looking for something. I'm looking for a home cloud platform that I can take on the go with me as I travel. I talked a little bit last week how I got a relative I might be visiting a hospital a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So I might be spending a lot of time there. I need something that is reliable on the road. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Google Stadia was for. No, so if Google Stadia was going to be a thing that I needed a Pixel phone for, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, I'm not buying a new phone for this personally, but I'm doing this but I had to go buy a new phone. I don't have a Google Pixel, so I went and bought a new phone. So it's for y'all. So if y'all support me telling the truth, despite, and let me say this real quick, and I'm gonna drop a video on this and then I'm gonna roll. I have a lot of people that ask me questions about, well, MM2K, what about, you're comparing xCloud right now, it's in beta. Well, there's 4 other platforms that I'm testing that are out in beta, and xCloud is damn well at the bottom. Only one that is beaten right now is Steam. Google is better than Steam Link, but that's not saying much. Steam created a bottleneck when they tried to do the out of network remote gaming thing, and they haven't got it smooth yet. But before, when it was just like in the house, like PS Now, I mean not PS Now, but remote play for PlayStation, it was flawless. I was playing it on a Fire Stick, and it was flawless. So Steam Link created a bottleneck trying to upgrade, and they haven't smoothed that out yet. But every other service at launch in beta was 20 times better than Xbox, and I have a problem with that because Xbox is not number one in anything. They want to be this GE where we're everywhere, but we ain't necessarily got to be number, and it's not going to work for Xbox. Like, Xbox has to excel in something. Y'all don't have the number one console. You know what I'm saying? You can't graphically claim that our games look the best because Sony can drop a God of War on you, drop a Death Stranding, and those games can look better than anything on your system. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't even know if they can argue that they got the best subscription service. Now y'all getting into subscription. I don't know if y'all can argue that because EA's out there. And I think EA, across the platforms that they're on, they got more people on their subscription service than you do. I think there's more people on EA Access and Origins Access than are on your subscription service. Facts. So with that said, now you got cloud gaming. Now y'all putting your eggs in the xCloud. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And this xCloud thing. And not only you're not number one in that, but you're close to the bottom. That's why I'm being so staunch in my criticism. This is half-assness. of Microsoft gotta fucking stop. Microsoft is so fucking half-assed in everything now. It's disgusting. And there's only one person you can blame for that. I ain't gonna say his name because I don't want Gregory. Gregory threatened to burn down my house and kick my ass and kick me off the podcast. I ain't gonna say nothing. But I'm serious, y'all. I'm joking about that. And homie, big up to the homie Gregory. But I'm tired of Microsoft half-assedness about everything. Everything is so half-assed. I know I keep saying that, but it's the truth. Every single cloud platform that I've tried these cloud platforms as long as almost 2 years ago. They all came on the scene better than what xCloud is. And xCloud just released a couple weeks ago. Tired of it, man. Y'all released the most powerful console in the world and launched with Super Lucky's Tales. And a few months after that, Sony drops God of War and then blows the whole most powerful thing, a narrative out the water. Like, when are y'all gonna start asking for more? And I see Tsunami in the chat, like Bethesda. Yes, like Bethesda. Absolutely yes, like Bethesda. But see, here's the problem. Bethesda gets away with this half-assedness. Why? Because, I'm going to be honest with you. Bethesda has lived off of this half-ass engine with different skins for multiple generations. The same engine that they used from the OG Xbox days, the same engine they got. Why? Because people, despite all the jankiness, they just love playing the game the way that it's set up. So if that's all their expectation, then fine. Let them be like that. And I'm included in that. I love the journeying and finding crazy shit and fighting crazy monsters. A lot of the stuff that is atypical of expectations in a lot of these games is not part of the Fallout crowd. But y'all want tip-top shit as an Xbox consumer, and that's reasonable. And everything Xbox do is so half-assed, but y'all want to proclaim it's the best. It don't make any sense. And they gotta do better. They're damn well the richest company in the world. Perfect. How are companies with half, not even half of a percent of the net worth that you have, got better products than you, even in beta? And the fish rots at the head. If you coming out the gate fucked up, more fucked up than everybody else, then why am I going to have faith in your final product? Every single product that's doing cloud streaming has launched in beta better than xCloud. It's ridiculous. That's why I'm so staunch in my criticism, because they have the resources to do better. Why is half-assedness, new word, hashtag half-assedness, why is half-assedness so acceptable at Microsoft? Why? Why? I don't know. They can do better. But again, and that's my last tangent about Microsoft, because like I said, I'm not part of the ecosystem, so I'm not going. I don't want to get kicked off the podcast. I don't want Dirk Griggity, while I'm at Aldi's trying to get some grapes and feed my family, I don't want Dirk Griggity jumping out the G-Ride and whooping my ass. So, so I ain't gonna say nothing else. But that's my frustration. And I know I'm being told that I have an agenda. But I'm tired of that shit. You're Microsoft. You're PlayStation 4 remote. The PlayStation 4 remote is better than Microsoft's version of that. How? It's frustrating. It's really frustrating. I don't understand. I'm gonna tell you one thing that they could do. I ain't gonna get it. I'm gonna say that for tomorrow's show. With that said, I want to thank everybody for coming through. Thank you. I see Buck that. Stop defending their bullshit. They will never give you what you want. Most We got the homie Most. We know Gears 5 didn't get nominated because the data showed that too many people saved that Dale. I don't know. Not saved Dale. Brigadier, because they want to make even more money with least effort. Brigadier, I agree with that. You got to look at it. Look at it. PlayStation outsold them 2.5 to 1. From 2 to 1 to 2.5 to 1 in units. Whether it's gaming, whether it's games, you know, whatever the case may be. But Microsoft ain't down 2.5 to 1 in revenue. If Sony made 19 million and they're being outsold 2.5 to 1, and Microsoft is being outsold 2.5 to 1, if Sony made 19 billion, then reasonably Microsoft should be at like 7 billion as far as gaming is concerned last fiscal year. And they're not. Or do I have the numbers right? Were they at 19? No, Sony was at 16 billion. I think Sony was at 16 billion last fiscal year and Microsoft was at 10. Microsoft was at 10. 2.5 to 1 says that you should be around 7-6 billion. So as far as revenue is concerned, Microsoft is doing hella good despite those circumstances. So to the homie Brigadier's point, with less focus on quality, they're doing better than they ever have. One thing that Phil is not lying about is that the top brass at Microsoft is happy about what Xbox is bringing in financially. They're finally out of the red with all this coffee shop gaming bullshit. So that's what we got to pay attention to. Tsunami confirmed that 16 to 10 billion. So to Brigadier's point, with less effort as far as quality is concerned, they've made more. But they're gonna keep stringing y'all along and keep saying, wait till E3, wait till Gamescom, wait till the Video Game Awards, the perpetual state of wait. And anything they do release that might catch the eye of the hardcore gamer or the AAA banger enthusiast, it's gonna be done half-ass. And I get there's a lot of you guys that want to defend Microsoft because y'all think that Microsoft is being portrayed in an unfair light. I get that. But everybody's not like y'all. And my content ain't for y'all. My content is for the unaware gamer. For the gamer that ain't got a flag nowhere, for a gamer that just wants the raw truth, that's what I'm here for. So despite my own personal biases, that's why I do what I do. My own personal bias, Google Stadia has nothing to offer me. But I'm moving forward because I want everybody to know to the best of my ability what's available out there. I'm doing playthrough tests. I'm not doing no serious technical tests. I'm doing playthrough tests because I want people to see in real world scenarios how this shit stacks up. And I don't want to hear that bullshit. Well, you ain't got the 200 gigahertz nanometers and all that other shit. In real world scenarios, nobody's tweaking that shit. They're just whipping out their phone, loading up the GUI, playing the fucking game. And if I can whip out my phone, open up the GUI on item A, item B, Google Stadia, PS Now or PS Remote, and Steam Link, if I can open up the GUI and just play that shit and have no problems, then I should do the same with xCloud. And if I gotta tweak this and do that for xCloud specifically, when I ain't gotta do that for all them other platforms, then that's a problem with xCloud, because this is a travel platform. This is a platform that's being developed for you to travel with. So it should be feasible in multiple network scenarios like everything else. If everything else can do it, then so should xCloud. I ain't trying to hear that dumb shit. This is the richest company in the world, and y'all can keep capping for them all you want. My platform is not for that. I'm not capping for Death Stranding. I'm not capping for this. Period. Big up to Cold Blood Sensei. Hey man, drop as many as you want to, my good brother. He said, this is my last one for the day. Great show. I'm going to go sink in another 10 hours into Shamu 3 right now and laugh at Barry. You go do that. So with that said, I wanna big up everybody in the chat. Thank y'all for coming through. I can't see all of y'all. I see FC Violent Trash. He says Stadia is trash. And for all of us that think that Stadia is trash, it's not acceptable that it performs better than Project xCloud. Like, you can't even play the games consistently on Project xCloud. I was playing, but let me, you know what? I'm going to say that for tomorrow. I'm giving y'all the whole damn show today. I'm going to say that for tomorrow. I got a show coming tomorrow. One more talk about, I'll say this. The 2 items that were under NDA, as far as I was concerned, I've talked to various entities and I got a hold of one of the companies and they told me that both of these items, fortunately, are no longer under NDA, so I can speak freely of them. I will release all the information in my show tomorrow. With that being said, I appreciate all of y'all coming through. Thank y'all. I can only see some of y'all at the bottom because what's it called is acting up. I see Buck that Tsunami. He said, and they will have the mod effect. I guess he was saying Moss effect. We got Tsunami and FC Violent and Heath Stevens. I appreciate all of y'all. I can't see nobody else, but I know a lot more of y'all came out. Thank you so much. And with that said, y'all all have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace.